Hello and welcome back to Park Winners. It is a beautiful first day of fall and I'm having a ball looking at all the change in the weather, in the plants and in the trees. It's very subtle here right now. It's not as dramatic as some of you may have in the Northeast, but it is definitely here. And when you are a gardener and you understand plants and you're in the rhythm and the subtleties of the season, we all know for sure that today is the first day of fall. And so I want to invite you to come on a walk with me. I want to show you some things. I want to share my favorite verbena iced tea recipe with you. And I'm going to show you some of the beautiful sights that are happening this time of year at Park Winners and our surroundings. I cherish this amazing weather because it's the first day of fall and I know that things are going to change from one day to the next when we get a cold snap. I'm going to be wishing that we had this warm weather, and it's so nice and breezy. I can feel the change in the air. These are a verbena that were given to me by my friend Janie with Dig Plant Water Repeat, and she did an event for Proven Winners, and this is the second year that these verbena are blooming, and it's so cool. She told me just cut them back and keep them going, and here they are. This is year 2. I'm right by the entrance to our pavilion, and it has a bit of a more refined and evergreen plantings, but it has a really nice contrast with these rusted walls. And so I love the juxtaposition of the rust with the green. And if there was no green, it would just be flat, but plants just elevate it. I'm walking into our pavilion and I want to show you these planters. I planted them earlier this year, and this is a 30-foot pipe that I cut into pieces and made them planters. And so they have a drain here in the middle that goes to our water retention area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some rain chains that come from there, and then they're going to come down in here and go into these planters. So they're rusted and beautiful. I love getting creative with my favorite salvage yard here in Yolo County, and I definitely have to cut these sweet potatoes. It looks like something just really got a hold of these. So you turn your head and all these little critters could attack. So there's so much to keep up with. And sometimes I just live with it and I don't torture myself because it is what it is and people hopefully understand. I also want to point out that in the back of our pavilion, I installed this very long mirror, and this is the longest mirror I've ever worked with. So on a clear day, you can see the mountains reflecting off in the distance. But anyhow, I discovered working with mirrors because I used to sell real estate in San Francisco, and I would admit that I'm probably claustrophobic, or I can tell when things don't feel right. And so anyhow, whenever I had like a room that was boxed in, I would put in a mirror, and I had a skinny one, a medium one, and a thicker one. And every time I'd add a mirror in the correct places, it just like really opened up the energy. So these are obviously reflecting these sails that we have over here. And when you come here for brunch, you can sit out here in nature and enjoy all the beauty. And whatever type of weather it is. It's always wonderful, breezy, hot, cold. It never gets old. And you can sit here and see our flowers. Our flower farm is really sweet. We have all kinds of varieties of rows of flowers growing everywhere. So if you need a breath of fresh air, this is the place to be. We even put a mirror right here at the entrance to our bathrooms. And we have these beautiful niches that are lit. And see, we style them for every season, so soon we're going to change the vibe of these. This here is lemon verbena, or some people call it vervain, and people make this beautiful soap out of it, but also it makes an amazing iced tea. So here's your recipe. You take about 8 or 10 leaves of the lemon verbena and steep them with a couple of bags of green tea, and then you can add honey or any type of sweetener, and then let it steep and put it in the refrigerator and let it get really cold, and then serve it over ice. It is a beautiful, great tasting iced tea. It's the best iced tea you'll ever have. So, and if you don't have a lemon verbena bush, everyone needs to have at least one in their garden. At a minimum, the scent of it will make you happy every day. It's amazing. So have you all seen our wind chimes? They are so big. They're probably about 6 feet tall. They're as tall as me. Anyhow, they're big and beautiful. And the backstory is that when I lived in Florida, I had these in my garden. And when we moved and sold the house, I had forgotten to bring these with me, and I was really missing them, and so I asked my previous gardener and friend to get them for me. So he got them off the old oak tree, put them in a box, and shipped them to me. So they just bring, sounds also bring memories, and this is such a soothing sound. So I'm going to keep showing you around, and I'm on the golf cart, and I'm looking at our kitchen garden that went through a super bloom, but now it's time to clean it up, get it ready for the fall. So all I do is observe all the things that have to happen. Most people come here and they don't see this. What they see is more of the magic, and they just gotta stay in appreciation. Look at our cute, this is the back of our cottage store, isn't that cute? I'm just gonna take you on a little ride around with me to check out the sites at Park Winners, show you what's happening. This is the front porch of the cottage store. I'll take you in there sometime. It's really cute in there. I want to show you the west side of the new garden that is in my head and in process. And we're going to take this space right all in here, and we're going to do a knot garden. Victorian gardens had knot gardens, and I learned this from Michael Glassman and Janie Santos from Dig Plant Water Repeat. And so it's really cool to just kind of like stand over here and look at this blank slate and see all the possibilities. But I've shown you what the knot garden was going to look like, but I just part of my routine is to just come out and stand around the gardens and see what needs to happen next. I do know for sure that this fall we're going to take all of this boxwood, all of that, and it's going to come over here on this side of the sidewalk, and so it's going to encapsulate this area, but then the very front of Park Winters is going to grow. I know a lot of people are already experiencing beautiful fall colors, but it hasn't quite hit here yet. And so it's my understanding that when you get like a cold snap, all of a sudden that triggers the colors or the chlorophyll in the leaves to change. And we haven't had a cold snap yet, but I am seeing little tinges of fall because I'm real keen to the shades of the grains and the trees, and I could see, and I can also feel it in the air that fall is here, and it really is, because today is the first day of fall. And right here to my left is the garden I just showed you, which is the knot garden to be. This is going to be so fun because I have an entire blank slate to work with and to make interesting, and it's going to just sort of like make the whole front of Park Winters come together and grow. But see, like I have it out for all this boxwood. I feel like it's like right up against you. And it's almost like strangling the house. Just kidding, but not really. It's saying, move me over there. So I'm listening. I have spotted black-eyed Susan relaxing on top of the generator. Hey, black-eyed Susan, you want to show us your eyes? She's not even paying attention, but it's so funny because she thinks she owns this place, and right now she's resting because she's probably been active keeping everyone off her territory. These are jujuberries, and I had the intuition of moving this little tree from an area that was shaded, and I wanted to save it and not just cut it out because I wasn't sure what it was. But when I moved it over here to this sunnier spot, it started to produce fruit the very next day. And they taste really good. They're like a cross between an apple. I'm not exactly 100% sure the other cross, but you see it a lot in markets in San Francisco, and people eat them with tea, but they're highly antioxidant. And these are called jujuberries. I have a theory that nature provides us the vitamins and the nutrients that we need throughout the year. And so what I'm observing is that we have these beautiful lemons starting to ripen, and we have our beautiful pomegranates starting to ripen, and they're both very high in vitamin C. And I'm not an expert, but I know that vitamin C is good for us in the winter. So Mother Nature, she is giving us all these citrus that are going to ride us through the year. And so, you know, food is medicine. And so I'm so glad we have our citrus grove. These become this beautiful bright orange little lanterns in the winter, and so these little tangerines are, I call them cuties. They're going to be bright and orange and with like little ornaments all over it. This here is one of the most sensational scents. These lemon blossoms just remind me Oh my gosh, they remind me of growing up and driving through the country, going to Disney from Miami to Orlando, and for miles it smelled like this amazing fragrance of orange blossoms and lemons. And so I'm so glad that I have this. Every time I smell it, I just feel like I'm in the car heading to a family vacation road trip. Isn't that awesome how perfumes and scents remind you of people and your sweet family, friends, or grandmas? This definitely is a big memory for me. So like when there's events happening and we're in the middle of something, I usually don't go around the guests because I'm usually just not dressed the part. So I let our staff and John do their thing. So I just cruise around and I take a look at the sites and like appreciate all the work that I do during the week with our team. And I always say that Park Winners has a very storybook feel about it. And I just think it's so sweet, like looking at the shadows in the afternoons and enjoying the gardens when guests are here, but on the other side. It's been a beautiful day, and now I'm like driving back, and I've just been like looking around, enjoying all the beautiful sights, and I always like love appreciating the silos, and then this really sweet red barn right here, and the colors right now are so nice. You can see that the sky is kind of pink, and I can't imagine being anywhere else enjoying a sunset than on this sweet country road we live on. I want to thank everyone for coming along with me today and allowing me to share what's happening and what's unfolding this week in our garden. Fall is definitely here, but it's not here yet in terms of the color that we expect. So it's just a matter of time before we get a cold snap and the leaves will change, and then we'll have beautiful color, because every year it's different and it's enchanting, and I can't wait to experience that. I always say that we have a certain amount of time and years and days in our life, and I want to spend my days in the garden. And anyhow, I want to thank everyone for your love and support, and I wish that everyone gets out in the garden today or does something creative.